Was in?
Yeah.
Send a quick message to them to see if they're coming.
Okay.
We'll see if they show up. Tell them Stephen is worried.
Okay.
Where are you? Stephen is very worried. Where are you?
Khalifa.
Oh, I don't know. I don't know.
I don't know that.
Khalfia.
Oh, I found the car.
Oh, good. Is Clash of Clans you play by yourself or play with other people?
By myself.
By yourself. Did you send the message somewhere?
Yeah. Yeah.
Good. Okay. We'll just have to start without them. We'll just have to start. Okay, you got your notebook? We can write this down. Conservation of momentum.
Bus. Go.
Bus?
Bus.
Ah, goodness. Where?
One more stop.
One more stop. Disgraceful. Who's that? Summer? Or, not Summer, you're Summer. Gao?
Yeah, go.
Okay.
And Khalifa didn't.
No answer.
Yeah.
Okay. Did you go to the city centre for lunch?
No.
No, Gao went to the city centre.
Maybe.
Yeah. You stayed here?
No. I missed the morning class.
This is your first class?
Yeah, it's my first class.
Disgraceful. Ben, did you go to the city centre for lunch?
No.
You stayed here?
Subway.
Subway's good. Alright, did you write this down somewhere? Come on. Conservation of momentum.
Okay.
Now, I was talking to your English teacher today.
Yeah.
I said I'm very worried about their English and physics because they're not learning their physics words.
No, I remember the reaction.
Good, okay, good. Good. So I'm still thinking about giving you a test. English test in physics. Maybe. We'll see. Okay. Right. A little bit to look at today. So, this word collision, it means like crash. So, you can see in the picture, the snooker, oh sorry, this is pool. This is an example of a collision. It's like a crash. Okay? It's a special problem in physics. It's when two masses, like two balls, they crash together and there's no external force. So what I mean is, if it's like this, okay, I have to make it move, but then I don't touch it. So they meet and crash by themselves. So it's like this. You get the idea.
Yeah.
Not like this.
Yeah.
Okay, that's not collision. So anyways, this lesson gives us a rule, something called the conservation of momentum. Do you remember what momentum is? I think we did this, didn't we? Yeah, we did do this. Yeah, momentum. Oh, you see, now this is why I get worried. You don't know this word, you forgot it. Momentum. Oops. Momentum. Do you remember this? No?
It's
It has a formula. Equals.
momentum equals what?
Equals what? Yeah. Ben?
Not.
Okay. Okay, you make me sad. I'm very sad. Equals mv.
Oh,
Mass multiply velocity.
okay.
Momentum. P equals mv. That's momentum. Yeah?
Yeah.
Okay, you forgot this.
Yeah.
What's this one called? That has a name. Yes, good. Thank you, Ben. But what's the word?
I don't know.
I. You remember I. That's good. But do you remember the word? Begins with I.
Yeah.
Yes, true, yeah.
M.
I am.
M.
Yeah. Okay. Impulse. Yeah.
And F. No.
Yeah. F equals impulse over time. Okay. I'm definitely giving you an English test because I want to see how many words you can remember. Okay. I think I'll give you the test next week.
Okay.
Okay. So you'll have a week to. Do you mind getting the door, Summer?
Oh, okay. I'm calling for sending a message that is on Facebook.
Yeah. What happened to you?
Sorry. I was pleased with my boss.
Ah. Now don't say anything. Let's see if Gail remembers. What's this word mean? Momentum.
Is displacement?
Mm-mm.
No, without direction.
Mm-mm. 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 Mm-mm.
No?
Equals what? What formula? Ah. We were talking about this. Okay, so I was saying.
Oh,
Yeah, well, now you see. So, okay, next week they'll give you an English test on Wednesday,
Okay.
next week.
Okay.
So you have a week to get ready for it. Okay? Because I was saying, Gao, I was talking to your English teacher. I says, I'm very worried about your vocabulary. Okay?
Okay.
So, momentum is the letter P and it equals mv. So the conservation of momentum when two things crash is like the conservation of energy. So what do you think it means? It means the momentum doesn't change. The momentum is conserved. So as a formula, that's m1u1 plus m2u2 equals m1v1 plus m2v2. So I think maybe you saw this in high school before.
Yeah.
Yeah, so like when you have two things, m1, m2, and this one's going u1 and it's going u2, and then they collide, m1, m2, and then they move away, v1, v2, you have this formula. So this is momentum 1 plus momentum 2 equals momentum 1 plus momentum 2. Yeah. And you know what the letters are. M1 is the first mass, M2 is the second mass, U1 is the first velocity, U2 is the second velocity, V1 is the first final velocity, and V2 is the second final velocity. Now you don't need to write all this down, but at least write to here. guess I just didn't turn it on. Do you need it on? Yeah. Oh, is that Khalifa?
Hello.
Hey, Khalifa, what happened to you?
Nothing to my.
Oh, okay. Were you in earlier today?
Yeah.
Yeah. Were you in this morning, Dan?
Yeah. So I have 2 hours break, so I ran home.
Oh, okay. Yeah, got that? Not yet. Ben is the first one today. You got everything?
Oh yeah.
Yeah. You got it, Summer? Today I keep calling you Summer. You got it, Gow. Yeah. I'm thinking about summer too much. Problem. Yeah, I'm going to have to go to the next slide, so you can grab this from the video later. I think it's recording. Yeah, it is, okay. Alright, so that's conservation of momentum. Now, there are 2 types of collisions. They are elastic collision. Oh, again, the word collision means like a crash together. Yeah. There are 2 types of collision, elastic and inelastic. So elastic means no kinetic energy is converted into other forms of energy, and inelastic means some kinetic energy is converted. So what I mean is here, if you calculate the kinetic energy here, if you add these together, we'll call that KE1. And if you calculate the kinetic energy here, it's KE2. 2 things will happen. Either they'll stay the same, or KE2 will be smaller than KE1. Now, if it's smaller, what has happened? Because remember, the energy...
Heat.
It's very good, very good. The energy then was changed into some heat or something like this. Okay. So if this happens, we call this one elastic. No energy is converted, kinetic energy. But if the KE is smaller, then we say it's inelastic. Oh, and of course, this one here is impossible. Yeah, you can't have more energy at the end than at the start. It's not possible. So you have elastic and inelastic. You need to know these words for the exam. Okay, you can write it like a formula if you want. This is elastic, and this one is inelastic. You have that?
Yeah.
Okay. So I think the next thing we'll do is we'll have a look at an example. Yeah, no problem, Ben. Got it? Yeah. Okay. Right. Here's our example. You have a 1 kilogram trolley, that's like a little car, and it's rolling towards a stationary 2 kilogram trolley. What does the word stationary mean?
Always.
In this context, it means something else. You're right.
No speed.
Yeah, no speed.
Yeah.
Stationary here means at rest. Yeah. So the 1 kilogram hits into the 2 kilogram. When they collide, they stick together, and then they move off together. Okay, so I'll draw the picture. What's happening is you have 1 kilogram and you have 2 kilograms, and this is moving here at 3 meters per second. And then afterwards they stick together and they move off, and we don't know the speed. We'll just call it like x meters per second. Okay. So the first question is, what is the velocity of the joint trolleys after the collision? In other words, what is x? Okay. So let's use our formula. What's the momentum here?
One. The whole.
Just this, the first one. It's 3.
Yeah.
1 times 3.
Yeah.
Yes.
Plus, what's the momentum of this one?
0.
0, because it's at rest.
Yeah.
And then afterwards, so equals, what's the momentum of this one?
3.
3x, yeah, because it's 1x plus 2x.
Yeah.
Yeah, so that's 3x equals 3, so x equals 1 meter per second. Okay. Right, that's okay?
Yeah.
Yeah, okay. B. What is the kinetic energy before the collision? So the kinetic energy at the beginning. So that's a half m 3 squared,
Yeah.
which is 9,
Yeah.
plus 0, because this one's at rest. So that's 4.5 joules. You can probably guess what my next question is. What do you think I'll ask you next?
The after.
Yeah, kinetic energy after the collision. So that's a half times 1 times 1 plus a half times 2 times 1. That's 1.5 joules. Isn't it? No, sorry, it's not. Oh, it is. It is. What do you think I would ask next? What might my next question be? I asked you to get the kinetic energy before and after.
The total kinetic energy.
Maybe. Maybe not. Something simpler. I ask you, what type of collision is this? So which is it? Elastic or inelastic? Yeah. Inelastic. Because the kinetic energy changes. It's not the same. It's okay?
Yeah.
Yeah. And then the last part is, what is the imparted impulse to each trolley? So, Ben remembers what's impulse? I, and what's the formula? Delta P, and what's delta P?
MV
Minus mu. That's the formula. So let's calculate the impulse on the 1 kilogram trolley. So that's mv minus mu, which is minus 2 kilogram meters per second. And then let's calculate it here on the second trolley, impulse on the 2 kilogram trolley, using the same formula. That's mv minus 0, mu. So this is plus 2 kilogram meters per second. Now do you see those answers are the same, but the sign is different?
Yeah.
This is actually one of Newton's laws. Which law is it of Newton? Is it his first, his second, or his third law?
Energy is.
That's not Newton's law. Newton.
force is
Newton only has 3.
One.
No,
It's
third
three.
one. Third one. Yes. Newton's third law, remember he said for every action,
There must be.
an equal and opposite reaction. So 2 kilogram meters per second, the other one must be minus 2 kilogram meters per second. That's actually Newton's third law, action reaction. Yeah? Yeah? Okay. Write this down. This is like, this is a good example. Can you see it all okay? Newton's fourth law.
Invented by someone.
Yeah.
Yeah. I want to say the force is
Almost like this.
Yeah, it's because it's a capital, you know.
In Nigeria?
No. Well, it depends where you are in Nigeria, right?
No. Nigeria is still the capital, Abuja.
What's the capital of Nigeria?
FCT, Abuja.
Oh, is it? Lagos is in Nigeria, isn't it?
Yes, Lagos is in Nigeria, but Lagos is in the capital.
What's so great about Lagos? Is it like the biggest city or something? Like why is it famous? Why do I know Lagos?
There's a beach.
Oh, it's like a tourist.
Yes.
Yeah, okay.
They have islands, much islands which only rich people stay in, like the banana
Lagos?
island. The banana island.
Okay.
It's very expensive.
So you would say Lagos would be more popular with tourists, would it?
Yes.
Yeah.
Why it has the last E? It has I1K2.
Oh yeah, so what I'm saying is this is the impulse on this one,
Oh.
and this is the impulse on the other one. Yeah. I1 and I2.
Okay.
Is okay?
Yeah. Newton's 3.
Yes. 3 laws.
This is the third law, right?
It's a version of the third law, essentially. Okay, you all ready? No, 2 of you are still
Yeah,
writing.
yeah,
You're ready. Khalifa? Nearly? Okay. Yeah?
Yeah.
Ready?
What was the first law?
What's the first law? Let's see. Gao knows the first law. Don't you, Gao? Ah, Gao, that's the second law.
So F equal with
2.
No, that's the third law. So last one.
Okay.
Ah. Okay. Okay, definitely a really hard English test next week. The first law is an object will stay at rest or in constant velocity until a force acts on it. Yeah. First question on the exam next week. What is Newton's first law? Next question. What is Newton's second law? Next question. What is Newton's third law?
We know.
Fourth question. Are there more laws? No.
Some,
Okay. Continuing. Right. Now, here's one. I'll do it, but I'll let you try it first. So I'll just draw what's happening. A 2 kilogram mass heading right. So you have here 2 kilograms and it's heading right with 4 meters per second. Okay? Collides with a 2 kilogram mass heading left with 2 meters per second. So this one is also 2 kilograms, but it's heading left with 2 meters per second. Okay? As a result of the collision, a tenth of the kinetic energy is lost. So that means, after they collide, a tenth of the kinetic energy is lost. So what would be the relationship between KE1 and KE2? If I'm saying, listen carefully, a tenth is lost. So what is the relationship here? Are they equal? No.
Equals
Yeah.
9 per 10.
Very good, very good. Where do I put the 9 over 10? On the left or the right? No, the left.
Oh.
Because this is smaller.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, KE2 is smaller than KE1. So this is what I mean when I say a tenth of the energy is lost. A KE2 is only 9 over 10 of KE1. Yeah. Okay, so what happens is they collide, and then after the collision, this one moves at V1 and this one moves at V2, and you don't know what they are. So my question is, what are the speeds after the collision? So what is V1 and what is V2? That's my question. Yeah, calculate. I'll let you try it. You need to use 2 formulas because you have 2 things to find. So the first formula is M1U1 plus M2U2. And the other formula is this. Okay, give it a try. Let's see if you can get it. The words, yeah.
So the K is didn't change. Just lost. Just lost a little.
Yeah, well, 10% lost.
Oh yeah.
So it's a little tricky because it's linear and quadratic. There's 2 equations. Did you get your Moodle? Your Moodle's working, isn't it?
Yes.
Yeah. Did you get to look at any of the videos from the lessons you missed? No. You probably need to Khalifa, during the break that's coming up soon, you should really put down, like on a piece of paper, what days you plan to watch what videos to catch up. You know, so like on Monday, you know, maybe you want to watch the first 3 lessons that you missed. You know, just so you can see everything. I think it's important that you have some plan.
I plan to do that.
Yeah, well, that's what I thought. Yeah, because when's your holiday? In 2 weeks? Yeah, 4. Yeah, there's two weeks left, or a week and a half, is it? It's this week and next week, right?
Monday, 18th February.
Yeah, so you have classes this week and next week,
Yes.
and then it's the break.
So are we going to do any tests before going to the break?
I don't know if we'll do it before or after. It depends on what your tutor thinks as well. I kind of think after is better. Because, like, for example, we have to give people a chance like you to catch up, you know? So, I'm kind of thinking after. Okay. Did you get an answer? What did you get? 3-3, both the same? What did you get, Gav? Well, maybe it's right. Or maybe you're both wrong. Summer?
I don't know
Okay.
why I calculated to this.
Okay, let's have a look. So, M1U1, what's that? 8. M1U1. Plus,
4.
yeah, plus 4?
Yeah.
No. No.
Minus?
Minus 4.
Why?
Because it's going left.
Okay. I just.
So you're both wrong. Congratulations. Equals M1V1 plus M2V2. Yeah? So that means minus 4 equals 2V1 plus 2V2. Sorry, plus 4. Apologies. So you have V1 plus V2 equals 2. That's your first equation.
Yes.
Now the second equation you get from this guy.
Yeah.
So that's 9 over 10. Now you can see why I picked 2. Because a half times 2 is 1.
Yeah,
So it's a half mv squared plus a half mv squared
Yeah.
equals a half v1 squared plus a half v2 squared.
Yeah.
16 plus 4 is 20. Is this 18?
18.
v1 squared plus v2 squared equals 18. Okay. Now, did you do these in maths class? These problems? What should we do to solve them?
V1, V2, V1 square plus V2 square equals V.
Huh? What are you saying? You're confusing me. What should we do to solve this? We should say
V1
V1 equals 2 minus V2.
yeah.
And we should put that into this, yeah. Yeah. So you have 2 minus V2 squared plus V2 squared equals 18. Yeah? So that's 4 minus 4V2 plus V2 squared plus V2 squared equals 18.
Yeah.
2V2 squared minus 4V2 minus 14 equals 0. So V2 squared, yeah, minus 7 equals 0. This doesn't have nice answers, does it? 7, 1, no. So you need to use the formula, you know, yeah? So V2 equals 2 plus or minus square root 4 plus 40, is it? Over 2. V2 equals 2 plus or minus 2 root 10 over 2. V2 equals 1 plus or minus 1 root 1 plus or minus root 10. Now, which is it? Is it plus or is it minus?
It's plus
Why?
because they're both going right.
Well, maybe not. Maybe this one's going left. But this one can't go left.
Yeah.
Because if this one was going left, it'd mean it passed through it. You know, if they collide, this one must be going backwards.
Yeah.
It can't pass through it. So it has to be the plus answer. V2 equals 1 plus root 10. What's that, please? 4.2. Maybe about 4.2. 1.6 meters per second. So then that means V1 is minus 2.16, I think, if you use this formula here. Yeah?
Yeah.
Yeah. So the V1 is heading actually left, and the V2 is heading, so the V1 is going left, and the V2 is going right then, after they collide. So if you look at the picture, look, there's 4, there's 2, so they're both moving right. This one catches up, hits into it, and then bounces left, and this guy continues to the right. Yeah? Yeah? Question, Ben?
It's not the same answer.
Did I make a mistake?
No, I don't know.
I think b squared minus 4ac
Isn't that 40?
is 13.2.
Is it? Thank you. Sorry.
Yeah.
B squared minus 4ac. 4 plus 20. Oh, thank you. Sorry. Guys, it's not 40 here. It's
Yeah.
32. Thank you. So 32 is 16 times 2. 4 root 2, isn't it? 4 root 2. So that should have been 2 root 2. Okay, so what's 1 plus 2 root 2? 1 plus 2 root 2. 3.83. 83, okay. So then the other one is?
1.8.
Ah, that's a different answer. They're both positive. So they're both going right this time. One.
It's also minor.
Oh, sorry. 2 minus. Sorry, minus 1.83. Yeah, so it's still going left, and the other one's going right. Yeah. Okay. Thank you, man. Thank you. 3.83 and minus 1.83 are the two answers.
That's
Then.
right.
Yeah. There we go. Thank you. Thank you. Okay.
I like both.
Yeah. It's okay now. This is in the exam. I've seen it a couple of times in the exam. This question here. So sometimes they say like, oh, they collide and they lose half the kinetic energy, or they lose a quarter of the kinetic energy, or something like this. Yeah. It's not very easy. Did you write this down? Yeah? No, you should write it down. We'll just give Ben a minute here to write it down. Did you write it down, Khalifa?
Yes,
No, you should write it down.
do it.
I want to redo it yourself, okay? Well, you should still write it down, because then you can... Are you going to redo it later?
Yeah, I want to watch the video and do it again.
Okay, fine. I'm fine. Just make sure you have a copy of it in your notebook later then.
Do the school math notes? Like at the end of the semester?
Yeah.
Do the school math notes?
No. They're only for your study. Who are you talking to, Gav? Who are you talking to? Friend. In China?
No,
In here. In DIFC? Which class? Don't they have class now?
Well, the only ones in class.
Are you sure? No, the business students have class now.
they finish at 3.
Ah. Oh yeah. Yeah. Okay. No, not okay. Do you play Go? Do you play Clash of Clans?
What?
Do you play Clash of Clans? COC? You do? Ben's very good at it.
Okay.
No. Not true? Not good? Really?
I just
Okay.
So if say it was this way and I couldn't guess that, like,
The answer. Yeah. Which way can I see?
yeah. Like, no.
Here. Oh my goodness, yeah.
So x, y equals 7 and x plus y equals 2.
How'd you get this though? X plus y squared.
Because I got this.
Oh, you squared it?
Yeah.
Yeah. Then you get this.
Oh.
Not helpful.
No.
Yeah. Yeah. Ready, Ben?
Yeah.
Yeah. Let's see if I got more examples. No, I don't. That's good. Okay. So how are we doing for time? Good. Good, 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 good. So how many questions do I have on that lesson? Collisions.
please.
7.
Nice. 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 Okay. Now I'll help you with the first one because of the English. Go. Read the first question to me. What's it say? No. Ben actually. Ben will read it to me. Go ahead, Ben.
A physics student of mass 18.
Oh no, Ben.
18.
No, Ben.
80.
80.
kilogram
Yeah.
steaks
Yeah. Yeah.
of a 200 kilogram robot at the speed of 2 meters per second onto the dock.
Good.
How fast does the bot move away from the dock?
Good. So in the picture, guys, what's happening? The student is standing on the boat,
Oh,
okay? And they're both at rest. So in the beginning, the student's at rest and the boat's at rest. And then the student steps off at a speed of 2 meters per second. And then this makes the boat move to the left.
Yes.
So that's like V. So my question then is, what is the V? So at the beginning, they're both at rest. And then when the student steps off, the boat moves backwards. So it's like a collision, except backwards. So normally a collision is like this,
Yes.
whereas this is the opposite.
Yeah.
But it's the same idea.
Yeah.
Okay. Try these questions for a few minutes. Yeah, try these for a few minutes. Check the answers, alright? Good, okay. Do a couple of more questions before we start the next lesson.